Music.
Oh yeah, I like that. Something fancy.
Something that gets us all excited when we get on here and we're all pissed off and we're live.
It's something that reminds us that we're not cussing at each other. We're cussing with the world.
Something to go from cursing at each other over text message to being live. I think it could be fun.
It's nice to have something to break it up. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I better make sure I get these Substack comments here too from all our amazing people that are joining from Substack.
And that one fucking troll.
Yeah, maybe he brought a Russian army with him today. I guess we'll find out.
I mean, we know he's not bringing his fucking girlfriend.
Welcome everybody. We're live. I guess we start out with Sam's health update, maybe.
Oh, well, that's nice of you. Yeah, I'm on the mend. I started physical therapy Monday. I'm getting after it. I've done two of the you turn that off. There you go. I've done two of or now four, I guess, of my home exercises. I'm getting into it. Yeah, I'm ready to get back on the water, so I'm doing everything I have to do.
Right when you said that you're going to turn that off, it occurred to me, it's like, did he put on airplane mode?
No, I did not.
Okay, so if you can't hear me, you can't hear me. What's new with you?
Not only did I not turn on airplane mode, I chopped down my palm tree. It's no, I'm kidding. I didn't chop it down because it's not.
It's just not tree. There. No, you made a cane out of it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I fashioned a cane. I actually do have a cane, but yeah, I'm still on crutches at the moment. What else is going on? A bunch of shit. Looks like we're getting ready to go to war with Venezuela, which nobody asked for. Has nothing to do with drugs. It's all about oil. But I'll tell you something I saw today that made me, I'm trying to think of a way to combine these words. I laughed in anger. I anger laughed. I rage laughed. I rage chortled. How about that? I saw Leon Musk sitting with Stephen Miller's fugly ass wife, and
I will have one or two clips from that for today.
Oh, okay. Is this the one where he says people who aren't from here shouldn't be able to vote here?
Very likely.
All right. Well, we can talk about something else if you want.
No, keep going. I'm actually gonna. Yeah, I think that's the one. Keep going.
No, I tell you, it takes real fucking balls to say that people people who aren't born here shouldn't be able to vote here, when you also weren't born here. Where did Elon go to high school? What was his high school football team's mascot? Yeah, Elon ain't from here. He seems to forget that sometimes. The thing is,
and they're prioritizing his people coming here now, aren't they?
Yeah, all the white South Africans. The funny thing is, Elon has made me anti-immigrant. Not all immigrants, just him. Like, I'd be fine for using all of these deportation forces and all of this unconstitutional bullshit if we direct it all at Elon Musk.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would be too. Okay, well, here's the clip. It's about 2 minutes, but let's pull this up.
That's a lot of Elon.
And Katie Miller, unfortunately.
The biggest thing is that, I guess the biggest single thing is that there are massive transfer payments going to illegal immigrants.
Or you can really tell when the drugs aren't
massive.
Hitting,
essentially, we're paying people to come here from somewhere else in vast numbers, including flying them in. So, it's not like you need a border wall if you're flying them in. Then fast tracking them to citizenship and making them beholden to government payments, and voting hard left. That's essentially it's like voter importation. If you create a gigantic money magnet to you say, if anyone comes here from anywhere else, we're going to pay you tons of money, give you lots of free stuff. Come to America and get paid to do so. You're going to get a lot of people taking up on that offer. when people say like this is fake, I'm like, actually, well, let's look at you know, Ilhan Omar, who was voted into Congress by
America.
you know, large group of people from Somalia who are in Minnesota, which is really far from Somalia. Or Mamdani, who was voted to be mayor.
Gosh, what do these people have in common?
By a majority of people who are not.
Also, by the way, Omar has like one of the greatest stories, coming here as an immigrant through Dulles, and the second time she ever came back to Dulles was as a member of Congress. That is like the American story.
Motherfuckers got the stage presence
born
of
in
a
America.
spatula.
Yeah, that's my understanding, at least. And then California is a big time situation. So
You're right about the drugs.
I mean,
don't know if we
he's as
still want to
charming
turn
as a
into
colonoscopy.
a
Less. More.
you know,
No, less.
communist hellhole, basically.
I mean, the thing is, the only thing he's good at is being a con artist, and I don't understand who would fall from the con from this charmless asshat. I mean, that's it. You know, you got to figure even the robots he's making have more personality than that shit. Yikes.
I think they do. And when you think about it, the fact that this is like somebody who's probably going to become the first trillionaire in this world, the bar seems pretty low. Like, what are we doing here?
I know. It's like, remember when you were younger and you thought all doctors were smart, and then you got older and you learned about like Rand Paul. I feel like that's what the world is going.
Or that other one, what's the Candyman?
Ronnie Jackson.
Ronnie Jackson.
Yeah.
They all start with RON.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing, right? Like everybody's starting to see like the richest people in the world aren't cool. They're fucking losers. They're not the smartest people in the world. They mostly just seem like they're really good at having no soul. And maybe that's what it takes to become a trillionaire.
I think that's possible. While we're on the topic of Elon, here's one other one I wanted to get your take on.
Someone on the internet said, no, it should be the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Like, that sounds great. So we just kind of made up a department.
Do you think you were successful?
We're a little bit successful. We were somewhat successful. I mean, we stopped a lot of funding for that really just made no sense. That was
God,
just
he's the most
entirely wasteful.
boring fucking person in the world.
Like, for example,
Also, he just said that makes no
we
sense.
just kind of made up a department.
He doesn't
Do
make
you
any
think you were
sense.
successful?
No.
We're
Sorry,
billion dollars
back
worth
here.
of zombie payments per year, which simply by
Okay, that's enough, Elon, man.
enforcing
Jesus, why are we
that there be a
doing this
payment.
to our viewers?
Sorry,
Seems like a
everybody.
mean thing to do.
I'd rather tear an MCL than listen to that.
I'm not going that far. Yeah, man, look, weird fucking dude. And personally, I don't think we should ever let people forget that Donald Trump let a drugged out South African take a chainsaw to the Veterans Affairs. I mean, personally, that to me, that's a bit of a scandal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild that Elon thinks other immigrants from Africa shouldn't have the right to vote, but he should be able to destroy and remake our government however he sees fit. I get that he's a spoiled, rotten little creep show. I guess what I don't understand is why the fuck we all have to go along with it.
That's a good question. He's out now, though. I mean, what do you think the relationship is? Obviously, if Katie Miller, well, I guess that's interesting. Him and Katie Miller talking about relationships. Him and Katie Miller are on camera together. I was going to say that's not necessarily a Axis issue. That's just been something that two people have been discussed widely about.
Yeah, I see Stephen Miller's wife with every dude except Stephen Miller. It's maybe she's just growing some taste. I don't know. Yikes. It is wild though that we're told like we're in a meritocracy now, and every one of these losers is like, "Hey, here's my idiot wife, or here's my idiot third wife. Please buy some of the socks she's bejeweling in her garage.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's been 2 ICE videos recently. One that I saw today I wanted to bring up, and then one more just to get your thoughts on.
Okay.
I didn't hear the audio on this earlier, so I guess this maybe should have a trigger warning.
Yeah, I don't, man.
Can we turn the volume down a bit?
They're hurting him. They're hurting him. Oh my God. They're
Hey,
hurting
Adam?
guys.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a therapy session.
Okay. Well, let me just put one more out here because I want to hear you. I'll do this one without volume, just really quickly. I want to hear your rant on this. I mean, they're just running over people. The last video, these are all from the past 24 hours. The last video was somebody in handcuffs.
Yeah, no, they're cheap thugs. They're not law enforcement. They're criminals. They are the deputized goons of a convicted felon and rapist who hates everything America stands for. Our cities are being terrorized. You know, this morning a judge said that Trump has to withdraw the National Guard from LA. I think people have assumed that because most of the troops pulled out a few months ago, that LA's been fine ever since. No, there are communities being terrorized here. Every city these scumbags go to, they leave behind a force just to terrorize people trying to go about their everyday. People who, you know, are going to work. I hate them. I genuinely hate them. I hate every one of these motherfuckers who signs up for $250,000 a year to put on a mask and terrorize women and children. I don't understand how you grow up in this country being taught that it's a land of freedom, that it's a melting pot, that it's a place where people come to get their piece of the American dream. I don't understand how you grew up learning that, and then you turn around and decide to terrorize the very people who are trying to get it. So yeah, I hate every one of these motherfuckers. They're smart to wear masks because if they weren't, accountability would be coming for them with a new administration. I promise you that shit.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it looks like the folks in the comments agree with you. Daria thinks Sam. Claudia Miller, yes. Thank you, Sam. Woo, she said. Donald Trump spoke last night, not coherently, but I have 2 videos I wanted to get your take on. I'll start with the first because this is something he stated in the past, but then denied ever saying. And
by the way, if my actual therapist showed me this many videos of Elon, Trump, and CBP thugs, I think I would walk into traffic. I mean, it's a
the vibe I'm getting from you is
lineup.
Yeah, you and the folks in the comments. Do you hate us? Do you hate me? No, they're not saying that, but that's what I'm getting from you in terms of the therapy session. Okay, let's start with the first one. Again, he denied ever saying this, even though he said it, and now he's just saying it all over again. Now that the campaign's over, obviously. Here we go.
Why is it we only take people from shithole countries, right? Why can't we have some people from Norway, Sweden, just a few? Let us have a few. From Denmark, do you mind sending us a few people? Send us some nice people, do you mind? But we always take people from Somalia, places that are a disaster, right? Filthy, dirty, disgusting, ridden with crime.
Obviously, by nice people, he means white people.
Yeah, he means white people. It's not new. He's been a racist motherfucker his whole miserable fucking life. It's just we have a mainstream media who pretended they didn't see it, and then they decided they didn't care. I mean, Donald Trump's the birther in chief. His whole fucking entrance to national politics was questioning the birthplace of the first black president this country ever had. Look, he's a racist piece of shit. It's his most consistent quality. Racism and misogyny are the 2 things he's been most consistent about his whole fucking life.
Yeah, and on that note, I know you and I were texting about this before. Kendra says, "Did you guys see the World Cup visitors need to provide 5 years of socials?" I think, and I saw generally the tourism they're asking for 5 years of social media. We obviously know what that is. They want to see positive Trump stuff. But when you said that, obviously, he's a racist and something we've known for a long time. That, of course, wasn't the only racist thing that he said last night. There's also this.
Is it we only take people from
Hold on. That's
Yeah.
going to be one and the same.
Don't confuse your racist rant.
Sorry. He said that multiple times. No, here we go.
tell you, black people love Trump. I got the biggest vote. I got the biggest vote with black people. They know a scam better than anybody. They know what it is to be scammed. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. We did great. Thank you. I like this guy.
So he's saying that black people voted for him and they know a scam better than anyone else. What do you make of that?
I mean, it's always so weird to me the way he talks about black people. Like they're a whole other
And talks
separate
about
group
Trump.
Yeah, no, it's always been very weird to me. It's like that time when he was like, "There's my African American." Like he sounds so strange when he talks about black people, and you can tell he's just never been around any, or like never had like real or meaningful relationships with any black people.
I think he has one member in his
Yeah,
cabinet.
Scott Turner, former NFL player, who's the director of housing and urban development, and everybody's convinced Trump put black people in that job because it has the word urban in it. No, I'm not even. That's not even me trying to make a joke.
Well, and I think historically, right, the HUD secretary is black, but just the lack of black Americans in his administration and cabinet is ridiculous.
Well, that and the fact that he's resegregating the entire federal government, starting with the U.S. military. I mean, keep in mind, we had to bring back every statue and portrait of Robert E. Lee they could find, but it was nothing to demolish the East Wing of the White House, right? So, like, there's some history that they want to preserve, and there's some history they want to get rid of, and it's not a real fucking mystery which is which. The only mystery I've ever had is why so many white political reporters are fine with this. Why they stick their fingers in their lily white ears and pretend like they don't hear it. I will never forget in 2016, first term, hearing New York Times reporters go on MSNBC and say, being asked, is Trump a racist? And they told us, well, we can't know what's in his heart. I think we know. I think we know now.
Yeah,
he doesn't have one.
What you just said reminded me of a great video that I got to pull up for later here whenever I can find it, that I was DMing April Ryan about. But with that, one thing that you had in the newsletter that I wanted to bring up was Piers and a guest that he had on a show.
Oh,
so for folks
yeah,
that
this was
missed
actually
that,
really funny. Yeah.
I think the latest I saw, it was like at 50,000 likes on Asen or Aaron's. Here we go.
One of the many theories about you, I've no idea what the answer is, and you haven't got to answer. But are you actually attracted to women?
I am attracted to women.
You're not gay?
No. But I will say that women are very difficult to be around.
Okay.
So there's that.
And do you think they should have the right to vote?
I do not. No, absolutely not.
They should stay at home?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
See, basically, you're just a misogynist old dinosaur, aren't you? For a young guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm the boomer. I know I'm the boomer here, but actually, you're a 27-year-old dinosaur, aren't you? Aren't you, Nick Fuentes? All women.
I am.
All women are annoying. All women grow
fossil.
old. They all get fat. Says the guy. Have you ever had sex?
No, absolutely not.
Wow. Says the guy who's never got laid.
He's not a dinosaur. He's just a fucking loser.
Okay,
Dinosaurs had sex.
I can't stand Piers Morgan's. He
I know,
blocks
he's the
me
worst.
because of conversations that you and I have had with him and all that kind of stuff. But that was like maybe like the wokest I've ever seen. Now we also don't know.
No. That wasn't woke. That was when the biggest loser on the planet is sitting there. Pierce can't help look cool in comparison.
Well, yeah, and that's what's so crazy about it is like we also don't know where Piers falls on this stuff. He's just asking questions. He could have, after the break said, I totally agree with you.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Pierce Morgan was a virgin. Yeah, no, that I would believe that. My favorite part of that whole thing, other the admission from the leader of the Hitler Youth being a virgin, is when he asked him if he's gay, and there's like that long pause, and it reminded me of the movie Stripes, when they're in the Army recruiting office, and the Army recruiter asks Bill Murray and Harold Ramis if they're homosexual, and Bill Murray says, "No, we're not gay, but we are willing to learn." And that's what I thought of when there's that one like little pause there. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Pierce Morgan's a fucking loser, but there's no comparison to Nick Fuentes. And I don't know. I'd say the same thing we said in the newsletter, which is congratulations to every woman ever on not sleeping with that weird little shit.
Yeah, I mean that was just I purposely did not watch. I saw the context, but I didn't watch it until just now as the first time with you, and that is something. I mean, it's really interesting because obviously there's like the civil war that we keep talking about going on. I think Candace Owens is, I agree with what Yashar posted today, doing just incredibly dangerous things on all fronts, including putting, Ukrainian immigrants and folks that have come here from Ukraine in danger, just like she is with so many other people. But Nick Fuentes had that video a few weeks ago, I think that maybe we even watched on here, where he actually kind of sounded like he was saying something normal for the first time. But this guy's just a fucking wacko.
Oh, yeah. I mean, most Holocaust deniers are. I mean, he's never been anything more than a weird hate-filled little gremlin. We just live in an era when hate-filled little gremlins are having a moment. And I don't know, man. I feel like if you look at the big picture, there's a silver lining here. If creeps like this aren't having sex, then they're not reproducing. And that seems like a really good thing to me.
Yeah, I think that's true. I would love for them not to do that. But the good news is that's not happening with him because he doesn't have sex.
Yes. Yeah. No, like we said in the newsletter, even his hand doesn't want a piece of that.
I'm just looking at the comments on Substack. Other thoughts?
Let's open up to questions, man. Anybody got anything for us these days?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right here. The great news about all of our incredible army of subscribers and patriots here is that there's very few questions and lots of just incredible comments.
I mean, we've got a lot to celebrate after last night. I'm not going to save it for the happy ending, but, winning the Miami mayor's office for the first time in 30 years is big. Remember, we just did the same thing in, was it Jacksonville, I think? And then you go to Georgia, where we flipped a state house district. That was a Trump plus 13 district that had been gerrymandered to, lock in the Republican win. And they still couldn't do it because the people of Athens, Georgia turned out and said, fuck this shit. And then you look around, you look at Albuquerque, we kept the mayor's office there. It just seems like every Tuesday for the past few months, we've gotten good news because Americans are remembering how much they hate this shit.
Yeah. And the other thing is, it's interesting. I mean, even interesting, I guess, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Not surprising, but there's no coverage about these elections, even after they take place. But election night, Fox News and others, they almost just can't get away from doing it, right? Because Fox does a pretty good job calling election results. But Fox last night was Donald Trump speaking. CNN was Donald Trump speaking. And it's like there was no chyron or anything about what was taking place in terms of, for instance, the mayor's race that you just mentioned, where there was that candidate outperformed Kamala in some areas by a 42-point swing.
Yeah.
Georgia, I'm glad that you mentioned that. It was 12 to 13 point Trump district. And at one point last night, it seemed like it was, a close race. We weren't necessarily going to get it. I was watching, who's our amazing friend from Atlanta Journal, Greg.
Oh yeah, Greg Bluestein.
Yeah, Greg Bluestein, who's just awesome, and I was kind of like, all right, he's very objective and like very authoritative, and it seems close, but like even at that point, it was like down to like a 4-point. The Republican was up by 4 points, but to have won that, it's huge. And we're going. You said a couple months, right? We've been seeing this on all of these issues that Zoran and others have been discussing that are so important, not just affordability, but taking things like electricity, right? We saw that with the electricity offices in Georgia that were statewide. I mean, these are just fucking huge. If we're winning in some of these that are like that, only, as we say, right? Republicans don't win, Democrats lose. Only we can fuck this up next year.
Well, I think that's usually true, but we do have a president who's determined to cheat. So, I mean, I wouldn't put all of that on us. Not only that, but we're doing it. We're showing up. We're doing the hard work. We're not having to, twist Democratic arms to get them to show up. They're doing it on their own. This isn't coming from Washington. This isn't coming from the top down. It's the other way around. This is people taking their country back the Democratic way. It's damn exciting to see, and you can totally understand why Mike Johnson and Donald Trump are freaking the fuck out, because I mean, really, if they're unable to cheat, if Supreme Court completely destroys the Voter Rights Act, that's the only way they're going to win. Otherwise, we've got this thing in the back. To me, the question then becomes, okay, what do we do with it? Do we have the guts to do real accountability?
Well, that's something you've been saying forever, right? It's like Democrats want power until they get it. And that's my biggest fear, is if we know that we need a change in leadership, but what happens if not only do we win, but we win huge, we win bigger than, for Virginia is a great example. We now have more seats in the state house because of this past election than we've had in over 40 years. But Abigail Spanberger laid out exactly what she was going to do, including day one being one of the things that she was going to do and is going to do is get it. This is the great thing about executive orders, right? She's going to start reversing what Glenn Youngkin did. But one of those things is the cooperation agreement working with ICE, which is huge.
Oh, it's huge. It's massive. Yeah.
Yeah. But like she laid that stuff out. We don't ever seem, we talk about what they're doing, not we. Our leadership in Congress talks about what they're doing wrong, but we don't talk about what we're going to do. Why aren't we saying that we're going to, impeach this motherfucker and we're going to, this is what people want to hear.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's that calcified cowardice in Washington Democrats that, oh no, if we say we're going to impeach, then we might lose an election. Oh no, if we're too mean to ICE, then they'll say we want to defund the police. It's that constant being afraid of your own shadow. It's, look, there are several multimillionaires who are happy to fund centrist think tanks so that these centrist consultants can go on social media. They can take a candidate like Afton Bean. Afton worked her ass off to make an election close that shouldn't have been close. She overperformed in the district, and she lost an election she was supposed to lose. For her efforts, she has been attacked almost daily by DC centrists for being too extreme and not being able to carry the district. The fuck are they talking about? Which races are they running? My feeling is this: if you're hearing from people who hate Democrats, then don't take their advice on electing Democrats.
Crazy, yeah, right? I mean, it's not crazy, but yes, I know.
You hate trans people. You don't want black candidates. Okay, switch to the other fucking party then.
I mean, this is why I love watching, not ourselves, because we're not that arrogant, but like Midas Touch and others, right? Because you're not going to find David Axelrod. It's like every single time I put on TV right now, it's like Rahm Emanuel, David Axelrod, and all these fucking people telling us. I was watching. I put on CNN this morning just to kind of get an idea of what they were going to say.
You were the one.
I do. I do just to kind of see what's up. And literally they spent probably 20. Okay, first of all, I counted 9 commercials, 6 were Meta, 2 were Amazon on every single, like cycling through. And the whole piece is about Australia getting rid of social media for kids under 16, which is going into effect. Well, every single ad was about Instagram having this filter for children and Meta replacing good working hard American jobs on the farm and other places with data centers, right? And then when you're not watching commercials, it's Rahm Emanuel talking about how he's now leading the effort to, and you could tell he had his poll. I'm not saying I disagree with some of the stuff. He had his poll tested line for whoever's paying him, talking about how, social media and what's going on should be dictated by the adult, not the algorithm, right? Like he didn't come up with that. He's pushing this and being paid by somebody. But that's all it is. It's when we talk about the 12 businesses or 12 people that are in charge of everything, even when you tune in for a couple minutes, it's the same old shit. I did see the one nice story though about that young creator and influencer who raised that $2 million on GoFundMe for the guy that had $240,000 in debt since his wife's passing, and he was still working at 88 and no longer has to work.
Yeah. I mean, I think about this a lot in terms of last year's election. We've seen Democrats spend about a year now beating up Kamala Harris. She did this wrong. She did that wrong. Messaging was bad. We got to improve our messaging, all this shit. What we don't talk about is the forces that were aligned against her. A Democrat running for president these days isn't just taking on a Republican candidate. They're taking on Fox News. They're taking on Twitter. They're taking on all Meta properties. They're taking on the New York Times. They're taking on most editorial pages. I mean, we've just seen...
And by the way, just to credit you here, because you've said this in the past, they're taking on Russia. They're taking on North Korea. They're taking on China. All of these other bad actors who are working against them online.
Yeah, and this doesn't include Saudi. It doesn't include the UAE. That's the thing. When you consider the array of forces aligned against us, and you consider just how well resourced they are, just how much money they have, how many megaphones they have, it's really a Christmas fucking miracle that we ever win anything. It's a miracle that our message, this much of our message, is getting out there at all. You have to wonder and you have to believe where, we would be the country that we all think we are if we had a fraction of those resources pushing back, or if
we had fair elections, right? Like in Texas, if we hadn't
or a fair
closed,
press, or fair free media that focused on the truth instead of propaganda. I mean, the thing that we miss out on is that it's not just Fox News lying to its viewers; it's the gravity of Fox News pulling mainstream media in their direction, forcing them to take seriously every stupid fucking idea Republicans can come up with, whether it's, Obama's birth certificate, any Trump policy you can think of. But I mean, I feel like we're so hard on ourselves sometimes, and we don't ever step back and think about just how fucking powerful the people we're up against really are. And I don't know, man. That's why I take such pleasure in seeing Elon Leon be fucking miserable. He's got all the money in the world. He's got everything. And he's still losing to people like us because we actually give a shit and because we're not weirdo fucking losers.
Yeah. And I think you made the point last week, which is, all these people, all these incredible Americans and, voters going to the polls are out there doing everything they can to stop fascism. It would be nice if our party leaders could do the same. Yeah. And I think about what you just said in terms of the elections that we're winning. And not only are they historic, but you almost kind of wonder too, for instance, using Miami, like there's got to be a lot of people shitting their beds on the Republican side, right? Because if you've held that office for 28 years, you have a very limited amount of time to hide and clean up all of the shit that you should have been doing and all the damage that you've done before somebody is going to be coming in there in the coming weeks and in control of all of that. And so I hope that, I hope so that not only does she go in there and do an incredible job and do everything that, she committed to doing when running, but I also hope she exposes so much damage that has been done by the Republicans in that office for years.
Yeah, me too. Hey, I'm seeing this question, and I'm kind of with this. Robin at Substack is asking Sam, fun holiday question. Favorite holiday food treat, cookies, fudge. Do you cook, bake? Let's lighten the mood. Man, I got to tell you, I think lightening the mood sounds like a really good play here. That was a lot of Elon and Trump and
Yeah, I
strategy.
just fucking came out the gate ruining this whole thing.
You didn't ruin anything, man. You gave us something to work from.
Well, and
you
hold
know,
on, before you get to that, I just want to flag one thing because I think this is Tim right here. I just put up, right? So I that's taking stuff from Substack and putting it on here because Substack doesn't have the ability to do that
Yeah.
yet. We need some great moderators. So go to the latest issue today, yesterday, whatever's in your inbox, and Sam's not very consistent in his timing. I thought we were going to be 4:30 ET today. He wanted, no, I'm kidding. Whatever. I know it bounces around, but in the event that like you are able to just like give us a hand and help us, we would love it because the fact that he just took that from Substack where I'm keeping the comments, but it takes a while to post over here. That is so incredibly helpful until Substack
I wouldn't have
feeds
seen it
into
otherwise.
this. So anyways, back to you, but thank you for pasting this stuff.
So this question is right in my wheelhouse because I have a big sweet tooth. In fact, my sweet tooth is getting me in trouble because I can't surf and I can't really exercise. And so, you know the line from Airplane, Leon's getting larger. That's me. Having said that, I love Christmas treats. My favorite are sugar cookies with icing. They can be shaped like Santa or snowman or anything really. I don't care.
They
I
have to be
love-
shaped though.
Yeah, I mean, oh no, they don't have to be shaped.
Okay.
Just the icing is the key part. I also love snickerdoodles. I love
That's
fudge.
my favorite. And peanut, anything peanut butter cup, I'm all in.
I'll see. I'm not with the peanut butter cup.
That's too bad.
Man, it's kind of a weird thing. When I
That
was in high
explains a
school,
lot.
when I was in high school, we used to put shrooms in Reese's cups to disguise the flavor. And now when I eat a Reese's cup, I taste fucking shrooms. So
Sam, you
know,
told me the shrooms didn't start until 20 years after high school.
I can't imagine I told you that.
No, you didn't. I just thank you for the honesty. I appreciate honesty here.
I love vanilla fudge. Let's see what else. Hot chocolate. I'm a hot chocolate fiend. I love it.
Allie loves hot chocolate too. I made her some hot
It's so
chocolate. last
good.
night.
Yeah, no, it's nice. But
But
yeah,
I
really,
use the whole milk, even though she uses almond milk, and we were out of that, and I left the whole damn thing of milk out overnight.
I don't know.
But no good deed goes unpunished. So
No crying over spoiled milk.
I'm gonna come back to this. Hold on, favorite. Yeah. So I think I agree with everything. Although I see you like if you were to go out and get like the roll of cookies that you rip, I could see you just cooking the roll.
I mean, I would, but I actually like the little disc that have like the little.
Yeah.
They're so good. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's.
Do you cook them or you just eat the disc?
I cook them. I'm
Okay.
not an animal.
Well, now they sell cookie dough that is like edible. That doesn't have the raw egg in it.
Yeah, no, I don't need to be going in that direction. If anything, I need to be going in the other direction, like tofu, Christmas treats, and shit like that. But I don't know, man. This time of year, I just, I don't know. I tend to indulge the sweet tooth.
I see. This is so helpful, you guys. I see this one. Who doesn't like hot chocolate? Probably Donald Trump.
Yeah, I bet that's true. It's black.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one, even though a terrible thing, but probably true. Anyways, I want to pull this back up. Folks seem to be agreeing. I think for the most part, like folks are in agreement, and that's a nice thing is on Substack, as we've talked about, Sam, especially Sam, he's usually going to piss one of you off, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And we'll never all be in agreement, but we appreciate you sticking with us, even if, it's a good conversation. Although
and the truth of the matter is, we don't know everything. We've been around, but we don't know everything. We just, my thing is this. I'm 48 years old. There have been too many times in my life where I didn't stand for what I believed, where I put my finger up in the wind and I said, hey, which way is the wind blowing? Is it going to help my career? Is it going to help my bank account? Shit like that. Well, now, at this age, and for the last few years, I've decided I'm going to live my values. And I'm going to shout those values from the rooftop. So more often than not, what you're just seeing, I mean, it's what I believe. It doesn't mean you have to believe the same thing. It's just, I don't know, man. I feel like the time for compromising on stuff we care about has got to be over. I feel like we're in an era now where if we're not standing up for marginalized people who are being targeted, then we're just as bad as the people targeting them. So yeah, no, I get it. I know. I imagine I come in hot a lot of days, and I imagine there are days when that rubs people the wrong way. Um, but I'd rather you be mad at me and me stick to my convictions than you like me and me be just going wherever the wind takes me.
Yeah, I think that's important, protecting the integrity of who we are. Although sometimes you do rub off in terrible ways. There was a woman who responded the other day to me that the font was very tiny that we're sending out, and we need to fix that. I'm pretty sure that is a phone setting, but I let the best of me get to me, and I responded and said I couldn't read what she was saying because her font was too small. So if you're watching, I'm very sorry for that, but we don't have control over the text size on Substack. And I was having a bad morning, but I don't think you unsubscribed. So I appreciate you sticking with us.
Well, I'll tell you the funniest thing was like, and you had to like talk to me about this, was for years we would get people who would write to us and they'd be like cussing and like going off. And I mean, I would just like get so mad. And then one day Adam was like, dude, they're talking just like the newsletter. And I was like, oh, right. It was, it was a moment of awareness that was long overdue.
And I mean, some of this is not a knock on you. I just mean it's so cool to see, like, there's people that have been here for 3 days, and there's people that have been here for over 6 years, and there's people that are not in a position to be a paid subscriber, but we've gotten like 5 paid subscribers because of them posting it on social. So it really is just a nice kind of collective balance. And you know, where else can you find the real Scott Gilbert saying, where do you get black hot chocolate, Sam?
Yeah, I know. I thought about that as soon as I said it. I guess it is brown, isn't it? He hates that too. Although I guess like a dark hot chocolate, damn, that actually sounds really good, doesn't it? Did I just invent something? By the way, somebody in the comments are talking about buttered toast, dipping buttered toast in cocoa. And I can tell that my cardiologist didn't sneak into the chat.
You know, I got rid of, I think it's been 7 days now, 6. I stopped eating carbs altogether except for one day, because I'm trying to figure, I'm like self-eliminating what I believe to be is like an allergy or something. Anyways, I have lost 11 pounds in 7 days by, I only had carbs one day. There you go. Well, when you were saying that, so you said 2 things today that made me think of different things. One, when you use what was the word? Calcimide? How did you say it? Calcified. I thought of that because of the painful experience I had where the rib had to reattach itself. And that was the first time I had ever heard that term. But when I broke my rib, I was gaining weight left and right because I couldn't do anything.
That's where I am right now. Yeah.
And it's terrible.
Yeah, no, it sucks. It's funny. When I went to PT on Monday, they're like, okay, get on this exercise bike for 5 minutes. And like, I was the happiest person to ever get on an exercise bike, just to be able to get the blood pumping a little bit. But yeah, man, that's the thing. You get older, you know, your metabolism slows down, and those Christmas cookies, they know right where to land. You know, it's, I think this time of year we describe ourselves as jolly, though. I like that a lot better than some of the self-loathing shit that I say to myself.
Well, and for people that don't know, or new, or folks that are new, Sam is an uncle, so we also call him Uncle Sam, especially around this time of year when you usually get back to Kentucky.
Yeah, not this year, I'm afraid. No traveling for me for a few more weeks. So gonna try and do a little volunteering out here in LA, try and make sure everybody has a good holiday season.
And that works out because he doesn't have to try to find drugs when he lands.
Dude, what the fuck, man?
I'm kidding. Hey, so one thing I wanted to bring up too, because this is actually kind of a learning experience here. It's so exciting to finally be able to push these comments over because of everybody helping out. One thing we talked about is, because Sam does all sorts of things, including teaching, is I'm going to try to start to take the newsletter once it's out and do like a reading version that we put on Spotify and Apple. But the other thing is our therapy sessions, we're now going to put, so instead of saying, hey, let's watch this, I'll start to say next week, you know, or tomorrow, whenever we do again, listen in. We're going to start to take the audio and have it on Spotify, Apple, and others. So we'll send that around to everybody in the newsletter this week so that you've got the link. But once that is, once that's out, we'd love for you guys to subscribe and like give it 5 stars. And if you don't like us, still give it 5 stars. Yeah.
Don't worry about not doing it on Spotify. We know they fucking suck and nobody's going there anymore.
Well, we're going to do it on Spotify to compete with the others. But the nice thing is the video will be on there. But if you're driving, you can only listen to the audio.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And it's really exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited about this because I think that I think we've got such a good group of people here who have carried us for so long, but also made us expand, that hopefully we can make a dent in that and get a whole bunch of new people on there.
Well, I mean, not just that, but I mean, like, this is a group project. The more of us we are, the bigger our megaphone is, and the more of a difference we make, the more we can carry these values forward and make real change. You know, it's the two of us cussing like idiots, but we're all in this together. Yeah, you know, I was thinking about this Spotify the other day. Am I the only person who still buys individual songs from iTunes?
I bought like 7 back in the day, but that's really interesting. And I feel like you could just get like a monthly membership now and don't have to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Apple Music would make a lot more sense, but yeah, I told somebody that the other day and they looked at me like I still use, you know, fucking phonograph or something, but yeah.
That is really funny. I still have, I'll put it on display the next time we do this. I have like the first little one that came out where you could like download a movie for $50 and watch it on the road.
Remember the Zune?
Yeah, of course.
You're the only one.
No, I don't know. I'm like, I've got all sorts of stuff that my parents are giving me as I hope they're around for a long time, but they're cleaning out the house now in hopes that like, if anything ever happens, there's nothing that anyone has to go through. So they dropped off like the VHS camcorder from when my dad's, you know, was in the park filming us in the 80s, like looking like a creep. And I got all those tapes digitalized, you know. Can you imagine now cool. Just standing in like a little playground filming boys, you know? But there was a tape in there that was broken that I didn't know. So I got some like cool, anyways, it's fun. But I think that I put this up because Scott said no Spotify. And I wanted to say that Sam made a point that I really was really helpful in kind of putting things into perspective like 2 months ago, which is for all the people that are not on Twitter, it's like, what did we do with the Nazis? You know, did we not go to Germany? So I do feel like it took us, August was our 1-year anniversary getting on Substack. I think Substack, despite the many issues that we both have with them, has been the largest growth that we've ever had because of the way that it is. And so I feel like if we're going to fight on Twitter and we're going to be on Substack, that we need to be on Spotify and everywhere else. And, you know, it's just if people are able to listen to this, and we used to joke, right, Sam, like we'd have a line and all of a sudden we'd see 20 people with big accounts tweet it out. We're like, they stole that. And then we came to the realization that it's probably a good thing that the messaging is getting out. So
that's it. We stopped being so precious about our words and just being grateful that they were getting out there. Yeah, look, man, I understand people's distaste with Twitter. I understand their distaste with Spotify. I mean, we're talking about Nazi shit. I guess my reaction to that is it would be good if everybody left those places. But since they're not, we need to sneak in there behind enemy lines and deliver some truth, because that's the only way it's getting in there. You know, you hate to think that when they were planning D-Day, somebody would have been like, hey, we can't go to France. There's fucking Nazis there. It's like, yeah, well, not for long. So yeah, that's, I don't know. I have the same gross distaste for that shit as y'all do. But I sort of forced myself into it. Like Adam and I, you know, we joke about fighting like an old married couple, but one of our most enduring, it wasn't a fight, it was just a disagreement, was should we be on Substack? And I will admit, I was the one holding us up. I was the one who kept, you know, resisting. And when we finally got on, we found there were so many of y'all on Substack. There were so many people who, you know, we needed to connect with, we wanted to connect with, and that was just the best place to do it. And Adam,
and so many of the folks that are on right now, because I'm looking at a bunch of the names that weren't, but when we transitioned everything over, they were like really good sports and they learned how to use it. You know, they downloaded the app and they signed up and created accounts and all that kind of stuff, which was hugely helpful.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my thing is if we're only taking our message to people who already agree with us, then there's going to be like 4 of us in a fucking phone booth, surrounded by fascism like 3 years from now. So, yeah, we got to go to some ugly places where some real assholes hang out. But that's the way it works.
And we also, we also understand that there might be 4 of us in a phone booth, no matter what, a year or 2 from now. But hopefully we survive that.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm just trying to pull up anything else here. What time is it? 3:50. We usually go till. Let's see. Any other questions? I agree with this, by the way, from Rachel. Independent media is the new legacy.
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
just to go back to one of the things, Sam, when you talked about when we transitioned over here, it was a year in August, and what's interesting is we did. I'm not like trying to like say like, oh, we're amazing. I'm just saying I think like luck
We
is
are
what,
amazing. Quit
we-
running from it, Adam. If
We're
we don't
fucking
believe
amazing.
it, nobody else will.
That's true. But we got kind of lucky, I would say, too, because we decided, and I thought you were right, to not move over to Substack for a long time. But when we did it in August, I think we missed our anniversary for the newsletter. We still did it a couple of months before everybody got on. And I think that has been super helpful to us, because all of a sudden, the floodgates have opened on Substack and it's getting a bit watered down. But I do think they're doing some good stuff that's making it, they're having trending topics and it's like we're not really getting suppressed. I click on stuff, I see our newsletter. Same thing with Blue Sky, though. We were actively throughout almost all of 2024 posting on Blue Sky, and then all of a sudden, and for the right reasons, everybody started getting on Blue Sky. But Blue Sky was very good to us in terms of serving up the newsletter and our other stuff. I think because we had been posting for months when others weren't.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. But also they know how cool the fucking people we hang out with are, and they want to make them happy.
Yeah, that's true.
We're talking about y'all. In case
Yeah.
it wasn't clear.
No, I mean,
Substack folks want merch, Sexy Patriots t-shirts, etc. Yeah, no, I've been pushing Adam on this for years. I think we need Sexy Patriot studded cod pieces. I think they would be very popular, especially for traveling, especially for air travel.
okay, so here's the thing. I'll just put this out right now.
Sequin crotchless G-strings.
Yeah, totally.
That say, cheeks for freedom, stuff like that. That's
Sam, I told Sam that they're only made in China, but he was talking about some different toys and stuff like that. So here's the whole thing. We're going to have a store, and we've been working on this. The problem is that, especially right now, it's even in an ideal world, everything is American made, union made, all that kind of stuff. It's just not going to be for a while. However, a lot of the stuff that you would typically wear, if it's like Nike or Adidas or all that kind of stuff, those are now available with the stuff printed on there. So we're going to make an effort at some point to have everything. So it's USA, union, small business, veterans, minority, all that kind of stuff. But in the meantime, we're just going to get this thing out the gate, and you might buy something and you might not necessarily like the tag that's in there, but we will say where the stuff is printed. We're not going to pull a Donald Trump and rip a tag out. But there's a couple solutions now that work really well. And ideally down the road, we'd like to move over to like a States Made, which is a wholly owned female company, small business in San Francisco that a number of people, Midas does a lot on there. Nancy Pelosi does a lot on there. But the reality is like stuff just can take 3 to 6 to 7 weeks to get to you if we go that route. So in order to actually have stuff to get to people, we're going to do our best to string this along.
Yeah,
Just
I
to
mean,
be honest.
I guess having a president who's owned by China is bad enough. So you don't want T-shirts that are the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they've ever union printed anything. But what I will do is the stuff that Sam wants, I'll rip the tag out so he has no idea where it came from.
I think we should sell Sexy Patriot condoms, and on them they should say "not for use on fascist."
Yeah, I mean, look.
And then we sell fascist condoms, but they're like yay big.
I love this hat. We're gonna have stuff like this, but it's not all gonna be from here. But at some point, we'll move to that. But again, we're on Substack. It's kind of the same thing.
What kind of message is that?
I just, I think it's to be honest and transparent, which we are, right? It's
Right.
like you're going to get stuff and it's not all from there. You can return it if you want, but We got some really cool shit coming. So I'll try to get that up this week with our downloadable podcast, which I'm really excited about. With that, maybe we transition to some happy ending stuff.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I just say, man, the kids are all right. We've seen that video. We saw that video in today's newsletter of the kids marching out of the high school in Minnesota protesting ICE.
That was what I was trying to pull up to play for you.
Oh, I
and
got you.
I went down a rabbit hole and found these other terrible ICE videos.
After we put that out this morning, we got emails from a lot of y'all telling us about other high schools that have done the same. It can be, if you're like me, you're a little worried about what future generations might look like, especially the young men. They've been inundated with this Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate stupid shit. It's nice seeing that the kids are all right. It's nice seeing that they can see very clearly what's going on. It's nice seeing that they've got a very clear sense of right and wrong, even if the adults don't. So yeah, that's my happy ending, is America's waking up, and we're not putting up with this shit.
Okay, well, on that then, because I wanted to do that, let me pull up that video for everybody in case they didn't see it before we close this thing out. Share screen. I think it was Wu-Tang. I posted that. Our Wu-Tang for the children. Let's put this up here.
Fuck with Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Dude, there's Wu-Tang and the Wu-Tang account are wonderful. Okay, here we go. Let's play this.
Looks cold too.
Yeah. But sometimes, better than being in school for the right thing. They're not just doing this as a ploy, though, either. They came organized. They got signs,
Yeah.
It is this administration, this generation is a force to be reckoned with, man.
Yeah, they are. And we've made them that way. We've forced them into a lifetime of active shooter drills. We've wrecked their planet. We've wrecked their democracy. We've called them lazy. And yeah. So I don't blame them for being pissed off. I hope they'll remember a few of us were on their side, but I don't blame them whatsoever for the reckoning that I'm sure is coming at some point.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And the comment here, my 18-year-old son has not been poisoned by the bullshit from the right. Yeah, it's interesting. I feel the same about my 16-year-old son, but they are and his friends, and I learn something new from them every day when they bring stuff up and we talk about it, but they are so smart. I'm like, every single one of them, I'm like, you should become an attorney. I feel like you could win anything you set the arguments that they come up with are really good.
Oh yeah, no, we're in good hands. I know it's just something about getting older. It's just your natural inclination to worry about the younger generations, but I've got a lot more faith in them than I do my own.
Yeah, same here. Well, I think that's a good note to end on. Anything? There's so many nice things are popping. Anything else?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's end with like a really positive note.
Scott said, kind of like we were in 1968.
Yeah.
Don't get Sam talking about 1969
or any of the late 60s and early 70s. I don't know. It's an era that the books and music from that era really left a mark on me. No, I want to talk a little bit today about the holiday season. Last week we talked about this being a tough time of year for people who've lost people, for people who are alone. We reminded everybody that 988 is the crisis hotline. So please call that number. But today we're going to ask you, I'm thinking about the end of the movie Scrooged. Y'all know I love Bill Murray, love that movie. But when he's talking about, a Christmas miracle, and that Christmas miracle can happen for everyone, you just got to want it. He says, you can call up an old roommate and say, hey, how are you? You can go to a person who's cold and take a blanket and say, here. You can go to a person who's hungry and take a sandwich and just say, here. That's what I'm hoping And I look, y'all are sexy patriots. I don't have to tell y'all this. Y'all already know because you've got great big hearts, great big sexy hearts. Sorry. I know you're out there right now, not only working your ass off to save democracy, but also to make sure other people have their Christmas miracle or their holiday miracle. Forgive me. Anyway, I just want to say, I hope you'll continue to do that. Let's spread some sexy cheer this Christmas season. Although if you're handing out gifts to kids, probably don't call them sexy. That could make for a real troublesome misunderstanding. But y'all are just the fucking best. Every day you make us feel so lucky to be a part of a community like this and to be on the side of things that we're on. So thanks everybody.
Yeah. You said it best. I put up the 988 so that we've got that on there. I'm just checking one thing because we like to give people time afterwards. Anything else? Or we'll get this up after really quick. But if anybody wants to help moderate some of these or just be more involved in the newsletter, please let us know. We're also looking for some folks that can help us update the Trump golf track. Kyle is in desperate need of some extra hands there. So if you want to help Donald Trump humiliate himself, we could use some help getting that site regularly updated. That's all I got.
Did you grab all the comments?
Yeah, I got them all, but let me I got them all, but I'll do them again as we're going through here.
Sweet. Well, I'm gonna go to physical therapy and then I'm gonna come home and smoke a fatty and read those comments. And then I'm gonna watch some holiday movies and have some hot chocolate with buttered toast.
Yeah, let me know about the buttered toast, but it looked like even Tim agreed.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Okay, great. All right, I'll end this, but we'll leave it so that it's got another minute, so I can grab the comments and you guys can continue to chat. And thank you guys for believing in us. We love y'all.
Yeah. Thanks everybody. Love y'all.
See you guys.